Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope you all doing well. Dear students, this lecture is for grade 7, boys and girls both wings, subject science, and in this lecture we will discuss the remaining topics of chapter number 8. This is my 23rd lecture and I am your lecturer, Mrs. Saira Jamal. Today we are going to discuss the transmission of heat, the third method or the third type of transmission of heat, that is radiation. The transfer of heat energy from a hot body to a cold body directly without heating the space in between the two bodies is called radiation. The transfer of heat from hot body to cold body. Hot body to cold body without heating the space between the two bodies is called radiation. So this is sun and the cold body is moon. Sun is transferring its heat to the moon without heating the space between, as there is nothing in between the sun and the moon, because if there is vacuum, so the heat is transferring from sun to moon without heating the space between the two bodies is called radiation. When we sit in the sun or in front of a heater, we feel warm. Heat energy reaches us by radiation. So we can receive the heat from burning wood or from heater through radiation. Heat energy reaches us by radiation. This heat cannot reach us by conduction, because you know that for conduction we need medium, and air is a bad conductor of heat. It is a gas, and I told you the reason, that the gas molecules are far apart from each other, so they are bad conductor of heat, although they conduct heat but badly. Similarly, this heat cannot reach us by convection, as the hot air rises upward rather than sidewise. The hot air, in case of convection, it moves upward. So if we put a cardboard or a plastic sheet between us and the source of light, we no longer feel warm. So we can say that heat from the sun or a heater reaches us by radiation, which requires no medium. So as I told you, that if we will keep a cardboard in between our hand and the source of light, we will not feel any warmth. The reason is that these are radiations, and the cardboard or the paper or the board will act as a barrier between the radiations and our hands. Extend your thinking. Why is radiation the only type of heat transfer by which the sun's energy can move to the earth? If we consider it as a convection, so because convection is the method by which heat transfer through fluid, like in liquid, you can say the molecules are moving upward, the high energy kinetic energy molecules are moving upward, so it is convection. So convection is by fluid, and conduction, I told you, is the transfer of heat from one molecule to another of a substance, and it mostly takes place in solid, like this pot. It receives heat from this burning wood, and then the heat is transferred to all molecules of this pot, and then definitely in turn to the liquid. So this is conduction. uh, Conduction will not takes place from the, like the heat which transfer from the sun to us or to the earth. The reason I told you is that there is no medium, no medium is present there which conduct the heat. So the only type of movement of or transferring of heat from hot body to cold body, from sun to the earth, is radiations, from radiation. You can see these are the radiations which are reaching to us from the fire. So same like the radiation from the sun reaches to the earth. We have an experiment on radiation and absorption. Object absorb and radiate heat at the same time. Whether all objects absorb or radiate heat equally. To study it, let us perform some activities. Activity is 8.6. A good absorber of heat is a good radiator of heat. For this activity, you will need black colored can and silver color cane or any light color cane. Then thermometers, these are called laboratory thermometers, and you need hot water and cold water. So fill two-third part of each cane with cold water. In the first step, take these two canes and fill them two-third of cold water. Put a thermometer in each cane and record temperature. So you will check the temperature of both the canes and then keep uh, both the canes in bright sunlight. Then observe and record the temperature of each cane after about 10 minutes. So you can see that the temperature of water in black can is higher. You can see the temperature in this black cane is 90 degrees centigrade, while the temperature in the light cane or the silver cane is 50 degrees centigrade, which is low temperature. Temperature in of black cane is high, while the temperature of water in the silver cane is low. The temperature of water in black cane is higher because it has absorbed more heat from the sun. And black color can again fill, the black color can have absorb more heat. That's why its temperature is 90 degrees centigrade, and the silver can absorb less heat, so its temperature is 50 degrees centigrade and is low. Now, in the second step, fill both uh, uh, like uh, now fill both the cane with hot water. Place both uh, uh, like put hot water, again fill the cane with hot water and place thermometer in them, then record temperature of water in each cane. After putting uh, hot water in these two canes, again check the temperature and then keep both the canes in shady place. Observe and record the temperature of each cane after some time. In which cane did the water cool faster? Either in the black cane or in the silver or the light color cane. Water kept in a black cane will cool faster because the black cane or the blackened surface is a better radiator than a silver surface. Dark color materials both absorb and emit energy more readily than light colored material. So as the black cane is a good absorber of heat, it is also a good emitter of heat. So you can see that in this case, the dull black can good radiator. The black color is a good radiator, while the bright shiny surface can be a poor radiator. It radiate less radiation and it radiate more radiation. So from this experiment, it is confirmed that the dark surfaces are good absorber as well as good radiator, while the light color or the silver color objects are poor absorber and poor radiator. Poor absorber and poor radiator, as we discussed in this case for the black color and for the silver color or for the light colors. Then we have one more activity 8.7, which one is the good absorber of heat. For this activity, you need an electric heater, two marble wax, a metal plate with rough, dark colored surface, a metal plate with shiny, smooth, light colored surface. You can see we have a heater. This orange color is a heater. Then we need the metal plates. These are the two metal plates. This is shiny metal plate and this one is blackened metal plate. Dark color metal plate and light color metal plate. And then what have you do? You have to put wax on these metal plates, and you have to fix a marble on each side of the metal plate. On this plate we have to fix marble, and also at this metal plate we have to fix a marble. Procedure is stick a marble on each plate with the help of wax. Place the heater between the two metal plates so that each metal plate receive same amount of heat from the heater. You can see both sides are receiving the same amount of heat from each side of the heater. Switch on the heater. Observe the marble stuck on the plates. Things to think. Why did the marble stuck on the plate with dark colored rough surface drop first? The marble which is fixed or stuck with the plate which is dark black in color, it will fall first. The reason is that the black color metal absorb more heat, because I told you in the previous activity that it is a good absorber of heat. It will absorb more heat, and that's why the wax will melt out first and the marble will fell down, while the shiny metal plate or light color plate, they are not as good absorber of heat as the black surfaces. That's why this marble to fall down will take time, and from the dark or blackened surface the marble fell down first or dropped first. Science, technology, and society. In hot countries, houses are painted with light colored paints. The light color of the paint absorbs little heat and reflects most of the radiation from the sun. What color paint would you suggest for the houses in very cold countries? In hot countries, they use light color because light colors are bad absorber or poor absorber of heat. What about the cold countries? What do you suggest for the cold countries to use? Which color paint? In very cold countries, houses are painted with dark colored paints. The dark color of the paint absorbs more heat and reflect less radiation from the sun. So the houses will remain warm for a long time. Good and bad radiators and absorbers of heat. Experiments have proved that good absorbers of heat are also good reflectors or radiators. Black surfaces are good absorbers and good radiators of heat, while shiny surfaces or light surfaces, they are bad absorbers and bad radiators of heat. Tidbit: since shiny surfaces are bad emitters of radiation, shiny teapots and utensils can keep food or tea warm for a longer time than black ones. In addition, shiny containers can keep cold liquids cool for a longer time than black containers. So you can see here that shiny surfaces are bad emitters of radiation, and I told you the black one are good emitter. So these you can say that the Shiny surfaces are bad emitters of radiation, so they will keep the food or tea warm for a longer time. And if it is cold, so we'll keep cold it for a longer time than the black container because they are good absorbers of heat and good reflectors. Everyday applications of radiation of heat. Every object emits or radiates some amount of heat. Knowledge of radiation can help us in many ways. The first one is when we sit beside a fire, the heat of fire reaches us by radiation. I told you that the heat of the fire reaches us is radiation because this is the third option which we discussed in the first lecture, that in the third option, if the teacher throw the date box to the students and the students catch it, so without changing their position or without changing their place, so that third option is for the radiations. The cooling fins at the back of our refrigerator need to radiate its heat quickly to the surrounding. Its surface is made rough and painted black. You can see the fins of the refrigerator, which is behind the refrigerator. It is black in color and it is a good absorber of heat, and it causes cooling of the refrigerator. During hot summer days, it is advised to wear white or light color clothes. White color absorbs less heat than dark color. So that's why we should put on white dresses in summer and dark dresses in winter, because the dark dresses or black color is a good absorber of heat. In cold areas, a greenhouse is used for better growth of plants. Greenhouse is used for better growth of plants. Radiation from the sun passes through the glass. Radiation from the sun passes through the glass or plastic and warms up the plants, warms up the plants. Plants and soil absorb heat and emit the radiations. You can see the radiation are emitted back. Emit the radiation and increase the temperature. Those emitted radiations cannot pass out through this greenhouse. The ultraviolet radiations can enter this glass or plastic, but and then converted into infrared radiation. Those infrared radiation cannot pass through this glass, and then they reflected back in this greenhouse. This reflected radiation increases the temperature of the greenhouse, and then the plants can grow easily through at this hot temperature or at this high temperature. Energy from the sun or radiation from the sun enter through green house glass or plastic, and when it is absorbed by the soil and plant, then the extra light is emitted in the form of infrared radiation, which try to escape out from the greenhouse, but the glass or plastic is it does not allow the infrared radiations to go out from this greenhouse. So those radiation remain in the greenhouse and then increase the temperature of the greenhouse. And at that temperature, that high temperature, in winter, the plants can grow. The last is the vacuum flask. The vacuum flask, which is also called thermos. Thermos or vacuum flask, you can see here, it is composed of a cap. Then the outer covering is called outer case. After outer covering or outer case is the next one is vacuum flask. You can see vacuum flask, and after vacuum flask is insulated support. The vacuum flask is a container which can keep hot things hot and cold things cold. The vacuum flask reduces the rate of transfer of heat by all three ways like conduction, convection and radiation. All three ways takes place in the vacuum flask. The vacuum flask or thermos flask is actually two thin glass or metal bottles, one side the other. Air between the glass wall is removed to create vacuum. The vacuum prevents the transfer of heat by conduction and convection. The walls of both bottles are coated with aluminium on the vacuum side. These silvered like a mirror and smooth glass walls prevent transfer of heat by radiation. You can see that the inner flask of the thermos is painted or coated with aluminium, silver color aluminium, and that aluminium prevent the transfer of heat by radiation. The mouth of the flask is made from a bad conductor such as cork or plastic. A little amount of heat may be lost by conduction through the mouth. The thin walled glass bottle is protected by keeping it in a metal or plastic container. This is a glass flask, but it is very delicate, so it is kept inside the plastic or metal container, which prevent it from breaking. It prevent the glass from breaking. So the thermos is composed of cap. Then it has two double-walled. You can see layers. The outer layer is of plastic or made of plastic or mm, any metal, while the inner uh, flask is made up of glass, and it is surrounded by the vacuum, or this vacuum is a bad conductor of heat. So vacuum flask actually will keep the hot food, hot drink hot, or the cold drink cold. So vacuum flask is also called a thermos. Vacuum flask is also called a thermos. Tidbit. A blacksmith experiences all three ways of heat transfer, that is conduction, convection and radiation. A blacksmith, when he put a metal in fire, so that metal get heated by conduction. The metal get heated by conduction, and then the hot fire goes up, or the air which get warm by the this heat, it will goes up, so that is convection. And the heat which that goldsmith is, or the blacksmith is feeling, it is radiations. The iron in the blacksmith's forge glows red as heat is transferred to the metal from the forge. This is called forge. From this forge, the heat is transferred to the metal. Heat is transferred to the metal, that which is called conduction, because from one molecule or atom, the heat is transferred to another atom or molecule. So it is conduction. And the heat of the forge warms the air in the blacksmith shop, which is convection, because the hot air is lighter, it will move up, so the temperature of the room become higher, which is called convection. And the blacksmith feels the glow of heat from the forge. So this feeling of glow or heat from the forge is radiation. The blacksmith for glows red as heat is transferred to the metal from the forge is conduction, and the heat of the forge warms the air in the blacksmith shop is convection, and the blacksmith feel the glow of heat from the forge, it is radiation. So all the three forms the blacksmith experiences all these three ways of heat transfer, that is conduction, convection and radiation. The iron in the blacksmith for glows red because when you heat a metal due to high temperature it get red hot, so that red hot is transferred to the metal from the forge, and the heat of the forge warm the air in the blacksmith shop, which is convection, and the blacksmith feel the glow of heat from the forge, which is radiation. So these were all the three types of transmission of heat. The first one was conduction, which takes place in solid, liquid, and gases, all forms of matter. But conduction is good in solid because the molecules are tightly packed with each other. While in case of the liquid, as the molecules are a little bit far apart from each other, so convection takes place in liquid, and radiations are the radiation which are coming from the sun is the example of the radiation. So this was all about the chapter number 8. It is finished, and inshallah in next lecture we will start another chapter. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.